Today I'm going to walk you through 3 really hard-hitting tips on how to increase profitability within your own business. These are all 3 things that I practice within my own business, and it has helped so much it's not even funny. Check it out. Hey, this is Logan with Contractor Growth Network, and I'm going to walk through 3, they're going to seem very straightforward, but unbelievably effective tips to increase profit within your business. Now, I've been in business now for 4 years. As we grow and we scale more and more and more, how do we keep profitability in check? Because at the end of the day, you got like a company like Uber that makes, billions of dollars each year, but every year they're losing money. Profit is everything, because at the end of the day, if you don't have cash for the business, you're SOL. So let me jump into the very first tip. Know what shit costs. Here's what I mean by that. We're a marketing agency specifically with residential contractors, and what happens with them is they will do a job and they'll do it for maybe, let's say, $20,000. Well, they never go back and actually job cost. They never actually add up the man hours that they had to pay their employees to produce the job. They get into what we call is the debt cycle or debt spiral. And what happens is if they bid that job at $20,000 and then they actually went back and understood what it cost to actually produce the job, they would realize that maybe it's like $23,000, $24,000 to produce the job, and they only charge $20,000 for it. So not only do they lose money on the job, but the only way that they're able to continuously make payroll is to sell more and more and more work. And that's where a lot of small businesses, contractors, restaurants do this a lot as well, where they don't really realize what stuff costs and they end up going under because of it. So first and foremost, know what stuff costs. When you're selling it, you always need to be making a profit on it unless you have some other ulterior game that you're playing. Know what your stuff costs so you can properly. The second biggest tip is understand supply and demand. Let's say you're a landscaper, your big seasons are going to be spring and fall. And what a lot of people will do is they don't recognize that if you're getting, let's say, 100 leads in, 100 people want to buy your stuff, and maybe they're all qualified, but you're only able to produce 20 jobs, and a lot of small businesses are not set up for that. So what do? They either try to book work really far out or tell people, hey, we already have too much work, we can't handle any more. But what they fail to do is understand the basics of supply and demand. When there's more demand, raise the prices. If you got 100 people coming in that are willing to spend $20,000 on it, how many of those people would be willing to spend maybe $30,000? And maybe we whittle it down from 100 people now down to 25 people will spend $30,000 on it. Well, guess what? We can still only produce 20 jobs. So we're doing the same 20 jobs, but now we're making 50% more. And that's the best part is that's 50%, and it should be just straight profit. 50% to the bottom line, 50% more in your pocket. So if you have all these people coming in, raise the prices unless you want to go out and hire more crews or hire more people. It's that idea. So understand that if you have a lot of demand and there's a limited or finite amount of supply, you are able to raise those prices, and I suggest that you do. And the third and final piece of all this is niche down. And what I mean by that is, let's take 2 different restaurants. You've got one, let's say a Chipotle, then you've got one that is a Greasy Spoon Diner. Chipotle, if you walk in, they realistically have like burrito bowl, salad, taco, quesadilla. And you can get some options within that, but it's really 5 main offerings. A Greasy Spoon Diner is going to have seafood, Mexican, American, Italian, breakfast, brunch. I mean, they have everything. One is a really well-oiled machine, but most Greasy Spoon Diners, because they're trying to do it all, they don't make all that much money, because let's think about just refrigeration costs. If they're going to have on the menu, stuff for Mexican food with breakfast plus American plus Italian, the refrigeration cost alone is going to be really high because they have to keep so much inventory ready to go at all times. But a Chipotle really only has a few offerings, and it makes their life that much easier when it comes to increasing profitability, because you really go to them for one main thing, and that is fast, casual Mexican food. It's that simple. If you're a large company, that's one thing. But for most of you watching this right now, you're probably trying to do way too much, and there's so many variables, and you're just trying to keep your head above water. So the more closely knit you can keep the services that you provide to people, the easier it is that, one, they know exactly what to come to you for, and on the other side of it, you keep your margins in control because it's easier to understand what's going out and what's coming back in when you have a smaller amount of products or services that you sell. So those are three. They seem so straightforward, but when you actually do them, your profits will increase, or you'll at least know where you're bleeding out. Make sure you job cost, you know what shit costs. 2, supply and demand, baby. And last but not least, niche down into more specific things that you sell, and you'll be way more profitable. Thank you very much.